Hola amigos, bienvenidos. Welcome back, friends, to another lesson of the Language Tutor. So today, I want to give you a little lesson on culture. We've been talking a lot about grammar and verbs and all of that, and I hope that I have sparked some interest in you in wanting to travel. So let's talk a little bit about some cultural words that you might need when you're traveling around and seeing the sights in another country, okay? So we're going to get some vocabulary words down. I hope you have something to write on, your pluma, your papel, and you're ready to go. Let's get some vocabulary down. First of all, let's talk about movie theaters. I've been to movie theaters in other countries, and they're very interesting, a little different. I've seen movie theaters that look just like ours, and I've been in Africa where a movie theater is a bamboo hut with a screen. So we have a lot of different ways to do things around the world. Let's start with movie theater, which is el cine, el cine. Now, just a reminder of another word. When we were talking about skiing, the ticket window. So we buy our tickets at the ticket window is la boletería, la boletería. And remember, the ticket itself is el boleto, el boleto. All right. Now, a theater seat, a seat in a theater is called la butaca, la butaca. And a row or a line is la fila, la fila. Now the screen itself is la pantalla, la pantalla. Now, when you're in another country seeing a movie, I guarantee you American movies are probably being seen in that country you're visiting, because American movies go all over the world. We don't see foreign movies in our theaters here as much, but across the world, American movies are everywhere, and I've seen some. So you're going to see them in different ways. You might watch the movie in its original form with subtitles. And so if it says with subtitles, you'll see this, con subtitulos, con subtitulos. So that's how to say with subtitles. It looks a lot like our English. Now, the other way that you might watch a movie is dubbed. So they take actors from that country and they go over the voices of the American actors. So that would be dubbed, which in Spanish is doblado, doblado, dubbed. Okay, so that's a little bit about movie theaters there. Let's move into museums. Okay, I've been to some great museums, and I hope you visit some in other countries as well. Museum is el museo, el museo. A mural, the mural is el mural, el mural. I use our word, just put some Spanish pronunciation in there and you got it. Okay, a painting or work is el cuadro, el cuadro. Now, a statue is la estatua, la estatua. Artist is el artista, el artista. Now, this would actually be the same for la. If we were talking about a lady, a female artist, and you do say artista for a man as well. It's a word that applies to both. Okay? Sculptor, a person who does the sculpture, is el escultor, el escultor. So you may be reading about a sculpture or a statue, and it might talk about who the escultor is. All right, and a general cultural event is called a diversión cultural. Diversión cultural. Now, just a quick grammar note that we've talked about before. The word diversión is here. It ends in an I-O-N. When it ends in I-O-N in Spanish, we know two things about that word. First of all, we know that there's an accent on the O. And second, it's feminine. So you know it's la or una if we're talking about the cultural event or a cultural event. Okay, now the theater, this is as if you were going to see a play, a show. A theater is el teatro, el teatro. The actor is el actor, el actor. The actress, la actriz, la actriz. A theater work is la obra teatral, La obra teatral. Now, obra means the work. You can have a written work that could be an obra as well, a report or something. So, la obra teatral. The scene, la escena. La escena. Okay, I've given you a lot of vocabulary words to start with and to get you thinking about cultural events in other countries. So you know what, just for a minute, let's just have a seat and chat about some cultural events since we're talking about those. So talking about cultural events, I wanted to tell you about a few things that you can see in Spain. You know, Spain's really cool because it's the origin of Spanish, and you know, so much history there and so many great things to see and do in Spain. One of the things that you can see is la corrida de toros, the running of the bulls. I know you've probably heard of the running of the bulls, and actually la corrida de toros takes place in several different cities across Spain. And it's traditional for the participants to wear white, and they wear a red fabric that is traditionally supposed to hide the sword from the bull, and the sword that will eventually kill the bull. And so you can see this in several different cities across Spain. If you ever get a chance to watch the Corrida de Toros, I would highly recommend it. It's quite a spectacle to watch. However, it is a dangerous event, and so I don't recommend participating in that. You know, another interesting thing is there's a city called Buñol in Spain. And in Buñol, in the last week of August, they always have something called La Tomatina. La Tomatina is a festival, and there's a giant tomato fight, and it is massive, and it's quite a spectacle. This massive tomato fight amongst hundreds and hundreds of people. It's pretty interesting. So if you're ever in Spain the last week of August, definitely go by Buñol and see La Tomatina. And the last one, you know, we were talking about theater a while ago, and I love theater. I participate in musical theater, and so I love this one. It's called the zarzuela. A zarzuela is a specific Spain musical theater production. And it's interesting because, you know, they're obviously singing, there's obviously speaking throughout it. A lot of times that singing is very opera style. And the interesting thing about a zarzuela that really sets it apart from other kinds of productions is the fact that it usually has a really silly plot to the story. The story is something ridiculous or funny, and the whole production revolves around that silly plot. So it's really cool. If you're ever in Spain, definitely check out a zarzuela. There's just a couple of culture ideas for you. Be practicing all those phrases we learned today, and we'll see you next time on The Language Tutor. Friends, thanks for watching The Language Tutor. If you have a question for me, feel free to leave it in the comment section below the video. And please click subscribe and the notification bell so that you'll never miss any of our language lessons.